and there's still no outcome. Cannot focus anymore. So these are the little things you have to play around. Free information as much as possible. Welcome back. We're just kicking off another episode. Today we are going to talk about results that we are expecting. We are working hard, and after a time when we have put in effort trying to follow up our diet, our meal plans, we're trying to keep up with our exercises or getting our steps in, it seems that everything that we've been told kind of is being into the plan and is being applied. However, day in, day out, weeks go by, you might have had some type of success, but after a while you realize that it's just been stalling, or you actually feel that some clothes might get even tighter, and you realize something is not going on. And this is the point where a lot of times people might get lost interested, or they just cannot focus anymore on their goals. The problem is with that the simple things that we do are being avoided, or we are just not taken into account. And basically what happens is you just give up, because obviously if you've been doing something for, let's say, 3 months, 6 months, or even a year, and it seems like there's no huge difference, and it feels like you've been restricting yourself for a lot of things, like for social gatherings, or even maybe some specific meals, or there are some specific things that you really like, for example going out with the mates in a pub, having a few pints, having a chat, and it seems that you've been pushing all this along away outside, and you still haven't got that result what you were dreaming or you haven't imagined. And yes, what happens is you just give up and you just slowly go back into your old lifestyle. And obviously this is the worst thing that could have happened, because if you would know how to adjust maybe a couple of little things, and you would restart your journey and you would get new motivation how to do it. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to grab iPad again, and so I'm just going to start recording. Okay, so if you bear with us, just 1 second, need to do a little adjustments. So let's say, for example, you came to the road where you either reached out to somebody, or you found it online, or maybe somebody else in the gym suggested you how to calculate your calories, because this is the principle that we have to come back and again and again, and there's no really other way around it. So I'm just going to, if you just follow on the on screen, so basically what we're going to do is we are going to take our week. Okay, now first of all, we're going to type on top of our piece of paper that, let's say, for example, you've been calculated that your maintenance calories for the day. We're just gonna go easy numbers so we're not getting confused. Don't take these as an example, because your body, it all differs. Your age, your weight, your height, either you're male or female, your activity, and so on. So this is only for information. Don't take this as personal guidance. So for example, let's say there's a bloke, his name is Jimmy. So Jimmy has maintenance calories of like 2,500. Then, so this basically would be the weight for maintenance. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that. So that's maintenance. So basically, these calories would give Jimmy exact weight that he has, so he wouldn't really lose anything, and technically he shouldn't gain anything if the calculations are correct. However, be aware that none of the calculators, there is no one calculator that will give you exact same. So basically what we do is we usually calculate these things, and then we keep observing as we go on along with the process, and then we come back and do little adjustments. But basically, let's say we have calculated 2,500, right, as a maintenance. So in order to go into calorie deficit and start burning off your fat, you'd have to take off roughly between 400 to 500 calories. So let's say we are going and taking that off, and we're getting 2,000. So this 2,000 would be for fat loss, it's loss. For fat loss, okay, or simply other way around, it's like calorie deficit. Okay, so all seems cool. Jimmy's happy, so Jimmy starts doing stuff. Jimmy could be doing some resistance training, some weightlifting, maybe some other things. So he also maybe joins walking with some friends, or maybe he's going out for an easy jog, or maybe he has a bike in a shed and he goes out for a cycling. So these are all benefits, because this will help to spend daily calories anyway, but there has to be limits. Don't go overboard. But this is the topic for other day. This isn't why we are here today. So basically, we have 2,000 calories for calorie deficit for the day for Jimmy. So let's say we have week, right? So this is Monday. We have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, so what happens is, so let's say Jimmy is really motivated on Monday because last Sunday he got some takeaway or something, because he was out on Saturday night with a friends. We're having a couple of points, and he's feeling hangover, so his hormonal system is upside down and he can't stop his cravings. So he was giving all out on a Sunday. So on Monday, he thinks he thinks that I was really bad on the last Sunday. So on this Monday, he's trying to cut his meals, okay? So he squeezes in on Monday at 1,600, for example. So he has deficit of 400 on Monday, okay? And Jimmy thinks, wow, that's cool. Like I'm doing like really well, and I have like saved 400 calories on this day. Then on Tuesday, he manages to push even more, like let's say, for example, 1,500 calories. So again, now he's in 500, and so he's having now 500 calories off on Wednesday. So on Tuesday. So on Wednesday, he jumps back to like 1,600. Then on Thursday, he might go back to 1,800. So on Wednesday, we have minus 400. On Thursday, we have minus 200. So if we take this and that, so basically up to Friday, we have what we have. So it's 800. So basically, Jimmy has made an effort saving 1,500 calories. And Jimmy thinks, wow, that's cool. So there it is, Friday. Tomorrow I can have something else. And so basically up until evening, Jimmy might be staying on like 1,500. So technically for the day, he still has 500 calories to go. So overall, that would be up until Friday, he has extra calories gained during the week, which is like 2,000 roughly. So we seem that it's really nice up until Friday. But then what happens is Jimmy goes out on the Friday. So he's having like, for example, Okay, let's say, for example, they having a wild night, and Jimmy flushes down like 8 pints, for example. So I think 8 pints roughly comes out as 1,200 calories, if I'm not wrong. And there are different drinks. Uh, but basically, yeah. So this would be just a beer on its own. Then obviously, what we would do is there's obviously some food going along with that, especially if it's in a pub. That could be chicken wings, could be some peanuts, whatever. Peanuts are even crazier. So I looked up a couple of packages, few grams could easily beat you several hundred calories. So, for example, we might have food along with these beers or crisps. He could easily add additional 2,000 over the night, especially if after the pub they are going to the takeaway or something, which would then again boost another 500-600, or maybe even more. It depends if you're getting a garlic dip. Garlic dip on its own could be something. So basically, what happens is we were having down, we were having, sorry, changing red. So we were having these 2,000 calories kind of extra, which were thought because we were so good all week. Like one day we saved 400, another day we saved 500, another day again there was 400. But basically, once you go out on a Friday, basically all your efforts are literally out the window, because only your foods and drinks on a Friday night not only took away all your effort with a calorie deficit, but you're actually starting go into more like maintenance calories for the week. So, for example, if we would have to be, let's take this. So, for example, if we would have to have 1,400 calories for the week, okay, so that's for the 1 week. But then we are getting this done literally by Monday to Friday. We come out to that roughly, or maybe even worse. It depends how wild is the night. 14. So technically, in order to stay in calorie deficit, Jimmy already has Jimmy already had all the calories that he's supposed to have for the whole week. And what happens is when you wake up on Saturday, he probably feels hangovers, or it's not about drinking in general. It could be some other things. If you have less sleep, you more likely will be more hungrier, and some any other things. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be allowing yourself, but these are the major things where people fall in the trap. So, and then you woke up on Saturday, you just feel like, oh, the last night was horrible. So what I'm going to do is, I feel so crap, I'm not going to count calories on Saturday because I know I'm already over. And then on Sunday, you think, oh, Saturday was complete off. There's no point. What is it going to change on Sunday if I'll start put calories in? And even if I get to the whatever is my calorie deficit, even if we get back to the 2,000 on Sunday, but these this Saturday and Friday is literally the ones that made everything the worst. And then when you come back after this Sunday, where you had when you stopped counting your calories during the Sunday, Saturday, and even late Friday, then we go back to from this Sunday, we go back to the Monday, and we start the circle again. So you feel totally crap and guilty on Sunday Eve. So you know Monday is going to be the day I'm going to be back. So because you have eaten Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, your hormones, there are two major hormones for your appetite. So the ghrelin would be the one that sends the signals that you're hungry, and the leptin is the one that will tell you, man, you are full, stop eating. But because you go on Monday to Thursday, sorry, I'm just going to take a different color. So because you go Monday to Thursday in too much calorie deficits, your leptin isn't going to rise even if you start eat on Friday and Saturday properly, maybe even on Sunday. Because what happens is you starve your body so bad that he says, no man, I'm not gonna send out leptin, because our bodies has mechanics inside that it is for survival. So basically there's a survival instinct. If your body suspects that you're starving yourself, whenever it gets the food, it will not release leptin levels until it feels secure, because your body won't know for how long, for how many longer you're going to starve it again. So this is the reason why on maybe Friday, Saturday or Sunday, you can't just stop your hungriness. You can eat whatever you want. See, the thing is, when we calculate calories, first of all, so if you look, so you have 2,500 maintenance. So for good healthy fat loss, we would take off roughly between 400 to 500. So 2,000 calories is already a healthy daily calorie intake for normal fat loss. If we just follow up, it's okay if you're able to, without having this backlash and cravings afterwards, to have, for example, one day with a 1,600, the next day maybe up with a 2,000, then the next day maybe go down again at 18 if you're capable, or even on Thursday stay down at 1,800 if you know that maybe on Friday or Saturday the lads will be calling out, or maybe you're going to the birthday and you wish to have that cake, or maybe you have those crisps that you've been dreaming of. Just be good and don't go over crazy, because what happens is everything happens in here. For some reason, our psychology is made that way, that if we are good during the week, then we can do anything we want, like on Friday and Saturday. But these basically are two blocks. So we have 2 blocks. We divide our week in 2 blocks. It's kind of where we are good, and then where we don't care. And when you don't care, this is where results are destroyed basically. And what happens is, since this block is kind of good, and it seems it goes on for longer, like 4.5 days, or like 4 days, for example. And then we have this other block, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is only 3 days. But it is so bad, it's so bigger in calories, that actually it just destroys these 4 days. And we just going on and on and on and on and on. And then 6 months passed, 6 months, or maybe 12 months, and we just don't see results, and we think, fuck, there's like, what's the point to live like this? But the problem is that you didn't pay attention in the first place. So I hope this give you a guide, and yeah, just switch that off. So it is as simple as it looks, but in reality, when every time when you feed your body, it feels like, I'll be able to do anything. I'll be able to cut down calories. I'll be able to take out these foods. I'll be able to say no to this, no to that. But once you hit that point where you start lose more carbohydrates out of your system, you'll start crave that maybe ice cream, maybe chocolate, or maybe just some really sweet fruit, or even a drink that has some sweetener inside, or just some specific flavor. And usually what happens is, when we overstarve your bodies, you can go for some period of time, but this is not sustainable. You won't be able to live like that for the rest of your life. So you better do adjust your calories. And if you really crave that thing or something, what I always say to people when I speak with them about the diets, if you think that today is the day that I want that chocolate bar, or even that bag of crisps, look through your day, what comes into the plan. So if you're, like for example, myself now, I'm on a cut, so I'm actually now down to 1750 calories. This is for the next 4 weeks, and it's a bit harder to play around. But even then, if I know that I might be craving something, what I'm going to do is I'll make portions slightly smaller during the day without starving myself. I still make myself to have food that I feel satisfied after my meal, but I will know that I have that allowance. And you don't have to do that on one day, especially if you have less room to play with the calories. What you can do is you can, let's say I want that chocolate bar and it has, or even the crisps, some of the crisps I like, and I looked into them, so it would come out as roughly 500 calories per bag. So if I would want that, what I can do is I lower my calorie intake for Monday to Wednesday, averaging out like 130 to 150 calories. And then on the Thursday, if I also lower slightly, at the evening I can have that back, and I have a little goal, and I will know that I will be able to enjoy that thing I like, instead of just taking it out of my diet and forgetting forever. And then every time I go into the shop doing shopping, just looking at that and thinking, oh wow, how I would want that. So these are the little things you have to play around. And yeah, I hope this answers your questions, why sometimes you put all the efforts and there's still no outcome. And if you have any questions, leave the comment down below. You can find on Instagram or TikTok, look for Mr. Gent, send DM. I'm glad to help. I'll try to put out free information as much as possible in this way, and if this is helping you, I'm really glad. But if you need more individual approach, reach out and we will go from there.